guys really know how to make a kid feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh. I'm winging this, we're winging this. That's a very important distinction. We'll get back to it, but I didn't plan on what I was gonna say because I didn't know what to say. Because I didn't know how I was gonna feel, but I knew that I needed to feel it. And I feel you, Chicago. And I hear you, Chicago. That's what I've heard for 7 years. I heard you. And we got a lot to cover. There's good news and bad news. The bad news is we're not gonna get to it all right here, right now. But the good news is I got the time. Wednesday, Friday, 4 Sundays or Saturdays a year. I got the time and I ain't going anywhere. Wait, 1 second. Possibly for me, the most important thing I'm gonna say right now, and this is for everybody at home, this is for everybody who bought a ticket, this is for everybody in the back. If at all through my journey, any of my personal choices or decisions related to my life made you feel disappointed or let down, let me just say, I understand. If you all try to understand that I was never gonna get healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally, staying in the same place that got me sick in the first place. Can I tell you guys a story? It's hot in here. Hang on 1 second. Can I tell you a story? See, I felt before like I had to leave. I didn't want to, but I knew I couldn't stay, and that was when I used to work for a place called Ring of Honor. August 13th, 2005 was my last match in Ring of Honor, and I famously came out with tears in my eyes. And walking out here today, I now know why I was crying, and it was a lot of reasons, but what it boiled down to was I had made a place where people could come work, get paid, learn their craft, and love professional wrestling. And I cried because I knew I was leaving a place that I love. And it was a home, and I knew where I was going. It wasn't gonna be easy for a guy like me, because I'm one of you. So I look at it like this. August 13th, 2005, I left professional wrestling. August 20th, 2021. I'm back. And I'm back for you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm back for me too. And I'm back because there's a hell of a lot of young talent that I wished I was surrounded by 10 years ago. So in saying that, I sit back and I say, well, hell, they're there now, so why aren't you? Here I am. I'm back because I want to work with that young talent that had the same passion that I had stamped out. I'm back because there's a couple of scores to settle in that locker room. I'm back for the young guys. Darby Allin! I've seen you. You're good. I've seen you jump out of airplanes. I've seen you wrapped up in a body bag and chucked over the top rope. I've seen you kick down a flight of stairs, and you always come back. Just like each and every person here in Chicago, you're tough. But I'm here to help. And you're the first on the list. I'm gonna help you because you're a daredevil and you like danger. Well, Darby Allin, there is nothing you could do that is more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk. Except wrestling CM Punk in Chicago. I will see you. And I'll see Sting, and I'll see all of you September 5th at All Out, live on pay-per-view. I'm back.
Damn, well that's huge. CM Punk back on pay-per-view. He's all AEW September 5th. Man, the chills are running up down my spine.
And that is how Rampage started. That is exactly how Rampage was going to start and how Rampage needed to start. Because honestly, someone put a video out before the show during the dark tapings that they were just chanting CM Punk the entire time. Had you had that match, had you waited for CM Punk to show up after, it would have killed the entire thing. There would have been no reason to have all these three matches go on. A very important match with the Tag Team Eliminator Tournament match. And CM Punk chants the whole time, well, we want Punk, or where is Punk? So, good on Tony Khan. This will be one of the biggest things to ever happen for this show. So, that is the beginning of what is going to be a very, very interesting couple of weeks going into All Out. With All Out coming out on the 5th, we have all this time to go. CM Punk will be there on Wednesday. CM Punk will probably be there the week after that. And of course, we have the match with Darby Allin, which is going to be fucking great. Now, I can't wait to see what happens with AEW going forward. But we have a lot to get into before we get to that. Of course, we have Smackdown tonight, which was insufferable. The rest of this show But CM Punk is going to be the talk of AEW, of the wrestling world, for at least the rest of the month. That's no lie. So, what's going to happen between now and then? I don't know. All I know is this is going to be one of the most talked about things in wrestling. Tony Khan. Oh, Tony Khan is becoming one of the greatest promoters in professional wrestling. A guy that fucking cares about everybody. Now, if I can find this clip here, I can get this because someone put it on YouTube. Not YouTube, but Twitter. No, that's the wrong one. There's of him before the show went on the air, and the passion out of this guy's voice. This guy is just so happy that people have the faith in this company, because honestly, none of this happens. None of this happens if fans do not have faith in Tony Khan and in AEW. If the faith of wrestling fans would have died, if they would have had the first year of AEW, and the faith of professional wrestling fans, they didn't hold up the promises and didn't give a shit, and they just did what the hell they wanted to do without even thinking about the fans, this company would have been dead last year, and CM Punk would be out of wrestling still. But tonight, CM Punk is back. And I can't find this goddamn video that someone posted, and I just want you guys to hear what Tony Khan said, because this is honestly just one of the best things about this company, is that you can just tell the difference. Now, where is it? Where the heck is it? Come on. Come on. Hold on. It's gotta be on here somewhere. Help me out, people. Help me out here. No, not that. Oh, I suppose they're ready to be smart. Please tell me this is that's what I'm looking for. I think, hold on. Come on. No, I didn't find it. That's a pain right there. And this was really cool too. I've said it before, I'll say it again. CM Punk's not the big acquisition for me. That's going to be Bryan Danielson, 100%. I don't care, my dad's watching this, he's getting goosebumps, everyone else has goosebumps. I'm not. I literally did not for this show tonight, because it's a guy who's been gone for 7 years, and it doesn't affect me as much. Bryan Danielson was just on TV 2 months ago, wasn't it? 2 fucking months ago. And he's going to supposed to be making his debut next month. That's the one I care about. It is what it is. It's great for the company. It's going to be good for the company. There's nothing else you can say that's going to make this a bad thing. I can't wait to see what happens afterwards. But, yeah. Tony Khan is a mad genius. Tony Khan is going to help build this company, keep professional wrestling. Because we know how Vince McMahon is. Vince McMahon doesn't care about professional wrestling. And it just shows every single goddamn week how much this company is going to be there to stay while WWE fades away. Is WWE going to die anytime soon? No. Anybody who thinks so is stupid. But it's going to slowly die. And everybody should see that coming, for the simple fact is this is just... They're not new. They're old. No one gives a shit about WWE as much. Vince McMahon himself doesn't give a shit about that much about WWE. Or he wouldn't let this happen. He wouldn't let stuff like this happen. But he did. And here we are. 2021, CM Punk is on TV in the second biggest wrestling company in the world right now. And he's going to be making monies for one Mr. Tony Khan. Mr. Tony Khan is by far just, honestly, he's one of the brightest guys out there. Promoter of the year. Like, he's definitely going to be winning Promoter of the Year next year. Plain and simple. Or at the end of this year, I should say. Whenever they do the Wrestling Observer Awards. Definitely going to be Promoter of the Year. And I don't know which is going to be, like, the biggest shock of the year. Because this wasn't a shock. This wasn't a shock at all. Whereas Sting last year was. I don't know how you're going to be able to say that this was a shock. Because we all knew it was coming. But there's not much else I can say about Tony Khan and CM Punk. It's just some good shit. I hope you enjoyed listening to that, because that was his entire speech, other than him saying that everybody gets ice cream bars on him. And yes, they actually got fucking ice cream bars. How about that? But great promo, great work. I wish I could find the Tony Khan promo, but I can't seem to find it. But we're going to get on to the rest of the show here in a second. Cassidy, I don't know what it is with these guys, but it seems like I know why they put him with Matt Hardy, because Matt Hardy is the quintessential guy in AEW you want to put a young tag team with to get over and become bigger in the long run. But it just feels like they've taken steps back. But I will say this. Isaiah Cassidy, I hope your legs are fine, because Jungle Boy goes to do a superplex off of Luchasaurus to Isaiah. Mark Quinn stops this. And Isaiah Cassidy, this crazy son of a bitch, hits a super Canadian Destroyer off the back of Luchasaurus. He hits it, and then he's grabbing both his legs, because he hurt himself big time. I think Isaiah Cassidy actually took the brunt of that injury, because holy shit, that looked like that fucking hurt. Luchasaurus knocked to the floor. Quinn up to the top rope, goes for the shooting star press on him. Back in the ring, double team by a move on Cassidy is the silly string, but Luchasaurus gets in and ends up taking him out. Quinn knocked to the floor, cover two. Hardy on the apron, stunt, jumps and stop him, but gets launched down to the floor. Jungle Boy sends Hardy flying. Cassidy with the roll up and pulls the tights. And oh boy, when I say pull the tights, he damn near pants Jungle Boy to the point where you could see some of his backside. I'm sure the ladies got a woo-woo out of that. Jungle Boy sends Hardy to the floor. Gin and Juice attempt, but reversed into a spinning DDT. Luchasaurus with a big hit. They hit the throw over powerbomb combination. 1, 2, 3. In the Jurassic Express are your winners going into next Friday's Rampage. So we do have a match for Rampage next week. Of course, next week's is going to be taped, which I don't know how long it's going to be until Rampage is just full on live. Full on live every single week, because honestly, in my opinion, that's the way they need to go. So, that was that. AEW Champion Kenny Omega with Don Callis and Nakazawa backstage. Callis says another fluke win by the Jurassic Express. They switched to All Out. Omega says he's going to retire Cage for another 7 years and wish he never came back to wrestling. Jade Cargill took on Kiera Hogan. Who gives a shit about this match? I don't think anyone does. So, Kiera Hogan got a couple licks in. Jade wins with the Glam Slam. Nothing you can say about that. Jade Cargill, to me, from the beginning, has screamed, not ready for TV. I don't know why they continue to put her on TV. She's not ready. She ain't ever going to be ready wrestling once a week, maybe twice a week if they do that. They need to get this woman wrestling. This is the one downside to not having house shows, because that's where you get your run. That's when you get your experience. That's when you get that's when you get the chisel out and sculpt who you're going to be. Jade Cargill's not really going to get that with where she's at right now. So, the only good thing that Jade Cargill has right now is Mark Sterling. Smart Mark Sterling. Because he does 95% of the talking, and that's it. We get Mark Henry talking with Daniel Garcia and Jon Moxley before their match. Henry asks Garcia about the attack on TV on Wednesday. Garcia says if it's for him to be a big name, he beat Fuego, he beat Matt Sydal, but if he wants to be a big name, he has to beat Jon Moxley. 2.0 trash talks Moxley for some more. Lee says Garcia is going to give Moxley a taste of what's coming for him. Moxley had his back to the camera this whole time. He finally turns around. He says he's pissed off and he's going to hurt Garcia. He says Garcia has a better chance of getting him pregnant than submitting him. Moxley is ready to go, takes off his earpiece and heads to the ring. And I can't do Jon Moxley's thing justice because holy shit, was that a funny-ass promo. Only a few people, MJF, Eddie Kingston, maybe even Chris Jericho, Chicago, like my God, CM Punk as well. It's just like there are very few people who are as good on the mic as Jon Moxley. Holy shit! Like him just going out there, saying what he has to say, and getting you to just laugh your ass off of what he says is just so great. I love Jon Moxley as a promo. So we have the match. Jon Moxley wearing his 586 different jackets to the ring. He goes and just starts beating the fuck out of Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is able to get a clip on the knee that he injured this past Wednesday night. So he gets a little bit on Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley with a huge-ass clothesline. Daniel Garcia actually gets him into a Scorpion Deathlock, a.k.a. definitely a pulled-back Scorpion Deathlock. But this fool didn't know he was messing with Jon Moxley for some reason because he bends himself all the way back that Moxley's able to wrap his arm around him, get him in the Bulldog choke, and Daniel Garcia taps out. So Jon Moxley wins. After the match, 2.0 come in. It's a 3-on-2 advantage. Here comes Sting and Darby Allin. They beat the hell out of everybody, those two guys. They stack up 2.0. Stinger splash in the middle of the ring. They beat him up some more. Double coffin drop to both guys at the same time. And that was that. So after the match, after that, Sting, Darby, Eddie, and Jon Moxley all celebrate. Eddie Kingston is having the time of his fucking life. I mean, this guy probably grew up watching Sting. And the fact that he gets to be in the ring with Sting on a weekly basis, basically seeing the greatness of the past and the greatest of the future with Darby Allin in the same ring, this dude's just having a fucking ball. And you can just tell that Eddie Kingston is happy where he's at and what he's going to be doing, what he's doing with his life right now. So that was Rampage. Really decent show outside of the CM Punk. If you take away the CM Punk thing, it was an average show. Honestly, it felt like outside of the tag team eliminate, after the tag team match was over, it felt like we had episodes of 2 matches from Dark being taped. Plain and simple. But that is Rampage. Let's talk about Smackdown, which was supposed to be the final hype to SummerSlam, and then you go watch Rampage, and Rampage killed any chance that people had hype for SummerSlam. Please, after what you saw tonight at 10 o'clock to 11, do you really give a shit about SummerSlam? I know I don't fucking care. And I barely cared about SummerSlam as it is. So, 2 good things about this show tonight. Edge and Seth Rollins, and that was it. John Cena and Roman Reigns was pretty much basically a rehash of last week with a couple words different, but it was about the same. So Edge comes out. He's sitting in a chair in the middle of the ring under the spotlight, which it's time to be serious. Story time with Edge, or seriousness with Edge. Says he heard he felt what Rollins said last week. He thinks back to 2014 when Rollins had his boot on his neck. He was worried about his life and family then, and he's felt threatened in the same way last week. Edge goes on and shows Rollins curb stopping can affect his ability to be there for his family. Edge knows Rollins means what he says, and Rollins has put him in a dark place, a place he doesn't like to go because it's so hard to come back from. Edge said if he's being truthful, he likes that place. Rollins has helped Edge find the place in his heart where his blood runs black. Keep that in mind for later on in the show. Edge says he does see clearly on this day, and he sees that at SummerSlam, he doesn't have to just beat Rollins, he has to break and humble him. He gets tense and says he's going to burn Rollins down at SummerSlam. He stares ahead and drops the mic, and fans cheer. The music starts back up, and we end the segment with him having this evil, sadistic look on his face. So, good opening promo from Edge. And honestly, after this, it's just an insufferable show until then. Mysterio's are backstage. Dominic knows his dad will beat Jey Uso tonight, and they will win the titles from the Usos tomorrow night. Ray tells him to slow down, take one match at a time, points out how Dominic almost brought us a loss last week. Ray goes on about how he wants the tag team titles just as bad. He tells Dominic to have his back out to tonight, and Dominic agrees, and they walk off. So, for the 100th time in the month of August, I'm sure these two teams have wrestled each other all over on in house shows. It's Jey Uso versus Rey Mysterio. Good fucking grief. So, Rey Mysterio and Jey Uso have a match. Pretty good match here. Jey Uso wins because Dominic got caught cheating as he tried to do what got the tag team titles to the Usos with his foot on the back of the pin of Rey Mysterio. The referee caught it, kicked him out. Jey Uso wrecks his father, sends him in the steel steps, brings him back in, hits a big Uso splash for the pin and the win, and that is that. So, don't really care. They won. Of course they did, because that's how WWE likes to do things. Baron Corbin versus Kevin Owens is the next match. We do see that Baron Corbin is still hugging the Money in the Bank briefcase because he thinks that it's his now. And WWE has bastardized the Money in the Bank briefcase so badly that I don't give a fuck about the goddamn concept anymore. 2005, almost 20 years ago, when they introduced that thing, it was awesome. It was one of the coolest concepts. Then you had John Cena be the first one to lose a cash-in by DQ, mind you. The second person to lose a cash-in was Damien Sandow, in which is still called one of the biggest burials in wrestling history. The third person to lose it was Baron Corbin, because he got mouthy backstage, and then he had to look stupid, which, up until this time, John Cena was responsible for the first 3 failed cash-ins. Just saying. The fourth man to fail his cash-in was Braun Strowman inside Hell in a Cell. That pissed me off. And then last year, Otis didn't even get the cashes in because he got stolen by The Miz, who cashed in this year to win the WWE title for a week. And now, here we go in 2021 with Baron Corbin stealing somebody else's briefcase because WWE is fucking stupid. You spent all of last year, after Otis won the Money in the Bank briefcase, having Miz trying to steal it from him, eventually winning it in a match because his tag team partner, Otis's tag team partner, turned on him. And now, here we are, doing the same old shit again, where Baron Corbin's going to try and cash it in probably tomorrow night, and the ref's going to tell him, you don't own this, so no, you can't cash it in. So, I don't know why the fuck they're giving giving a shit about this. Another thing, where the fuck was Big E at this time? Big E comes out towards the end of the match after about 3 minutes, and goes after his briefcase. If that was me, I'm jumping this motherfucker immediately. As soon as this motherfucker gets out there, I'm coming out there and I am kicking his ass. But no, what did they do? They just let this guy go out there and go out there, wrestle a match against Kevin Owens for about 3 minutes. It was a nothing match. Big E finally comes out, chases and beats the hell out of him, and then what? It's just so fucking annoying what they've done to the Money in the Bank briefcase. The Money in the Bank briefcase used to mean, oh, someone's going to be champion. CM Punk did it twice. Fucking Edge did it twice. You had all these other guys who helped their careers somewhat with... God, I hate you, AEW, because you put that on after I was done talking about it. Okay, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Champions, but yeah, here we go again with Kevin Owens winning by disqualification, but Baron Corbin still leaves with the briefcase. Why does WWE think that people want to see this? You had Biggie worked his ass off to win that briefcase, and just like that, somebody steals it from him. Are you fucking kidding me? Give me a fucking break. Kayla Braxton is backstage women's champion, Bianca Belair. By the way, where was Sasha Banks? Why hasn't she shown up? Why wasn't she there tonight? Apparently, there's a possibility that match might not even happen tonight. Tomorrow night. So, she's pissed off, and she's going to destroy both Carmella and Zelina Vega for teaming up with Sasha Banks. Okay. Remember when Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart made their SmackDown debut about 3 weeks before some Money in the Bank? They were brought up because Bayley got injured and they didn't have anybody else on the women's division. They come up as a tag team. They take on Natalya and Tamina. They beat them. The very next week, they beat them again in a championship contenders match. Where was their title shot? Never got it. Fast forward to tonight, August 20th, 2021. Nox and Blackheart take on Tamina and the returning Natalya in another championship contenders match. Did somebody in WWE forget to tell you that it was that they already won a championship contenders match? Why am I watching a championship contenders match between these two teams when Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart already won one a month ago? Somebody explain this one to me. I don't know. Oh, and before we get to this match, guess who's going to be on Monday Night Raw with Moist TV? Logan Paul is back. Why? Why is Logan Paul back on my television? Why? Shotzi and Tamina start things off. They have a little bit of fun match here. The match went about 2.5 minutes. Nox gets on the apron, leaping on, taking Tamina back to the floor. Shotzi ends up blocking a sharpshooter in the ring, rolling up Natalya for the 1, 2, 3, and there you go. So they've beaten the women's tag team champions 3 times at least. I don't even know. Like, the women's tag team titles are meaningless anyway, so why should we fucking care? Like, why should we really fucking care? So, we see what happened earlier tonight with Edge sending and warning to Seth Rollins. We see Rollins backstage laughing now. We go back to commercial break. We come back and Seth Rollins comes out. He takes the mic as the fans chant Edge. Rollins gets on mocking Edge's earlier comments. Rollins says Edge shouldn't be ashamed for his shortcomings. They start chanting louder for Edge. Rollins yells at them and says to shut up and listen to him. Rollins says there's no shame in being beaten and broken by this business. Be a family man and no shame in a use such hand erupts. He says there's no shame in being able to find the darkness that once got at Edge. But the problem is without that darkness, Edge can't get on Rollins' level. Rollins says they both know part of Edge is dead and gone. The familiar tune of the Brood music starts up and the lights go red and start flashing around the ring. There are flames on the Titantron. Edge appears and tells Rollins that beware because the freaks come out at night and you'll never see it coming. He laughs. We watch the big screen. The lights go out. The lights come back on. Boom! Big, huge bloodbath. They call it a brood bath because they're too cowardly to say blood. All over Edge, all over Rollins, knocking him on the middle of the ring. McAfee calls it a brood bath even though it's blood. Rollins is shocked that his all-white suit is no more. Edge was disappeared from the big screen. Rollins gets up to end the segment with blood all over him. Holy shit. That was, like, I think, the best part of the show. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Best part of the show. Montez Ford versus Otis. Of course, this match has been... This feud has been going on for a while. Montez Ford comes out looking like he's ready for a classic MMA fight with boxing glove, with the taped hands, the boxing shorts, shoes on. He goes out there, he gets a couple of licks in on Otis, but Otis keeps attacking the ribs because the last time they were in the ring together, it was rib on rib on rib, and he was just done. Otis eventually hits a Vader Bomb, and that is that. Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Boogs making his in-ring debut, take on Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz partnership will be ending very, very soon. Just saying. Boogs is in a singlet, so he's getting in the ring tonight. He actually plays air guitar with Crews' leg as he goes around. He actually picks him up and flips him back and forth in a gut wrench. So that was very impressive. He drops Crews but runs a boot in the corner. Crews sends Boogs shoulder first to the ring post and drop kicks him for a 2 count. Nakamura calls for the Kinshasa after he gets tagged in not too long later, but Aziz blocks it and delivers a big slam. Crews tags in, but Nakamura nails a spinning kick. Crews tucks the roundhouse. Boogs tags in as the fans chant for him. Nakamura slides in, kicks Aziz off the apron and holds him. As Aziz has him in the abdominal stretch and is just playing the air guitar, hits a big, huge pump handle slam. 1, 2, 3. Rick Boogs is 1-0 in his WWE main roster career. Good for him. After the match, Nakamura runs back and celebrates with Boogs with the music hits. Nakamura puts his crown on and all that stuff. And then we see how Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair's SummerSlam contract signing ended last week, which I don't think anyone could care less about. And we go to SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair going up against Zelina Vega and the Zelina Vega and Carmella in back-to-back matches. Both are short, sweet, and to the point. And Zelina Vega wins both. Bianca Belair wins both of them. Don't really care. So we have our face-to-face with John Cena and Roman Reigns to end the show. And honestly, it was the same old shtick from before. Like, this match didn't need another segment. It didn't. You literally could have had John Cena and Edge. Like, the Edge and Seth Rollins thing could have been John Cena and Roman Reigns. Edge and Seth Rollins could have had this final spot. And SmackDown could have ended with the bloodbath happening. That would have been a way to end SmackDown tonight. But you had this. The only thing you take away from this is that John Cena said if he wins the title, he'll be 17-time champion, which is true. If he wins the championship, we won't see him again until WrestleMania next year. And if John Cena beats Roman Reigns is going to leave WWE. That's the only thing you got to take from this. Other than that, there was nothing else. So, yeah, that's how we're going to leave that. Now, SmackDown was bland and boring. Let's talk about tomorrow's night's show. As we have 10 matches to go over, 9 possibly at the women's match for the SmackDown title is next, which we don't know what's going on with that. Nikki Trash takes on Charlotte 9000 and Rhea Ripley at a triple threat match for the women's championship. Charlotte 9000 is probably going to win this because you got to get those title numbers up. She only is an 11-time champion again, so we got to get her to 12. RK Bro taking on AJ Styles and Omos. I'm going with RK Bro. There's no reason why you don't book RK Bro to win this. Because you have them win them, and then they go to Saudi Arabia in October, hold them till that, and they lose them to Mansoor and Ali in Saudi Arabia. Alexa Bliss over Eva Marie, unless it's going to be Piper Niven being in that match instead. Then it's going to probably be Piper Niven, even though they'll say it was Eva Marie. Drew McIntyre over Jinder Mahal. Why should Jinder Mahal even be in this? I don't know. Damian Priest over Sheamus for the United States Championship. Edge over Seth Rollins for the just because they do. Bianca Belair retains over Sasha Banks. I don't think Sasha Banks is going to win the match. The Usos over the Mysterios. I think Dominic is going to have enough of his father's teaching and turn on him. Bobby Lashley over Goldberg in about 2.5 minutes. and Roman Reigns over John Cena, because why would you even think that Roman Reigns is going to leave WWE? It's just not going to happen. But that is your SmackDown review and your SummerSlam review and AEW Rampage thoughts and review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club, find me on twitch.tv/the France Club, and find me on Instagram at the France Club, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow for SummerSlam. Until then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.